graphic nature of this program, viewer discretion is advised.
You know, I've been from one side of this fandom to the other. In all that time, I have seen a lot of things. Above all that, there is one thing I am absolutely certain of. I am the villain of this story. You know what time it is, Valhalla? Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki. Good morning, DJ Odyssey, Project Storytime, Jedi Bill 797, Psychodorf 9, Mark the Infinitely Tired, Chris Persia, the Wrench of Wrenches is here. Good morning, Chris. Mary's Game Room. Good morning, Mary. Gun Bunny, how are you doing, Gun Bunny? Lord Thop, good morning. Keely Chow, Roll Tide, Keely, Roll Tide. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Fat Steven. I know Fat Steven's backstage. Yes, Fat Steven is backstage. But before we get to all that, Pod Racing Palpatine, good morning. Nicholas Glenn, good morning. Before we get to that, I want to say something before we bring up the guests we've got backstage. Gina Carano took a stand and said, I am not going to put up with this cancel culture bullshit. I am not going to bend the knee for a job. I'm not going to get on my knees and drink green titty soy milk. I am not going to bend or break to cancel culture. And they fired her. They fucking fired her. Let me tell you something. Disney has made one giant mistake after the other because they have put all their eggs in the China basket. That is what they have done. They have put all their eggs in China's basket. They want you to buy their products without a second thought. They want you to pay for everything they put out without a second thought. They want you to consume their crap without a second thought. And yes, if it's an Orion slave girl, I can see that, DJ Odyssey, but not from a manatee on the side of a beach on a planet where Jake Soywalker lives. We don't kneel to cancel culture. We don't kneel to bullies. We don't kneel to anyone. We fight. We stand up. We represent. We fight the good fight. We speak our minds because they can't cancel that. No matter how hard they try, no matter how hard they push, no matter what they do, They can't cancel us. They can't shame us into silence. There is nothing they can do to stop us from standing up and saying, we are not going to take this horse shit. Gina Carano knows that. And this morning is dedicated to taking that stand, to fighting that good fight, to not letting up, to not giving in, to not taking that knee. I don't care how long this morning goes. We are not going to be silent, and we are not going to be afraid unless we all have our mics muted. Yes, indeed. How are you doing this morning, Purple Valkyrie?
Doing well. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Almost done.
Oh,
Getting
tell
there.
me you're not pulling a Justin Proper.
No, I'm actually using a phone app, but I thought I'd use the same joke. It actually has peeing from far distance and peeing from medium distance. So I had to choose.
God.
But good morning, Logan. Come on, you know I was going to do something. Good morning. I took a stand, and I also aimed in the bowl.
Took a stand and aimed in the bowl.
I'm not sitting for Disney. Screw that. But you're right, bro.
Yeah, that was one hell of an intro.
I was
Anyone?
actually, sorry about that, Purple. I apologize. I was expecting, to hear that voice going off. You're like, we will not kneel. We will not go quietly into the night. Where's my burrito?
Where's the tacos?
Where's the seasoning? But honestly, I know it's been covered a lot. Everyone's given their perspective. Everyone's gone depth into the whole, the G and the she, the S. I'm gonna call it, that's, you know what I mean, the interview. But she gave us a role model, not just as an actress, but as also at the same time as a role model in standards and principle. And not only did she save her soul, she opened up her life to more possible roads of being happy. And that's something a lot of us should take in as that main lesson. It's not the evil of the mouse. It's what you get from escaping that evil.
Well, you know, it's not the mouse. The mouse is not inherently evil.
No.
It is the people behind the mouse.
Yeah.
And it is pushing the mouse to do what the mouse has been doing. Mm-hmm. That is the problem. When you've got a company that is doing nothing but pushing people's skin color, they are doing nothing but pushing people's gender, they are doing nothing but pushing people's sexual orientation. That is all that company sees.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like they say, 7 pillars of diversity. That's what their focus is now.
That's all they care about.
When are they going to start working on it on the same level on both sides of that coin? Because they have that there, but I think that's just there like a napkin when you set up your table for guests to come over. They don't actually believe that. They also have, what do they have? They actually have a director of diversity.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What has she done?
They have an executive vice president in charge of diversity. They have an executive vice president. I am not shitting you. They have an executive vice president of diversity.
Is this position above or below janitorial? Because it smells like BS. Yeah, sorry.
Title I've ever heard.
Maybe she or he is the person in charge of diverse bagels on the table in the morning breakfast. I don't know.
It's a she.
I know it is. I've seen her face. Another fake smile. But they can't even follow those 7. Wait, isn't there 8 pillars now? They added a new one.
Oh, gosh.
They did add a new one. I believe there was a new one added. And they haven't done that in, what, like 50, 60 years? I think we covered this before. But they don't even follow those principles. It's like a coloring book. They just color it in, but they're not actually staying within the lines of what it is actually saying.
We all saw that interview, didn't we? And I know we're not going to talk about it too much, but my takeaway was that she came through it with class. You know, it was almost an interview in two halves. You could hear it in her voice. You could see it in her face how upset she was about what happened.
Yes. Yeah.
But-
if you've ever been bullied or anybody's ever gone after you and you have had to sit down and tell your side of it, you know exactly where that woman was when she was in that seat.
Yep. And every time I think about it, like it makes my eyes water, man, because I can relate to it. I can definitely relate when it comes to that. It's scarring. It stays with you forever, and people think, "Oh, you'll just get over it. You get over it." You don't really know the extent that this type of stuff can go to. You might have experienced parts of it. It doesn't matter if you stand up for yourself or not. It's always with you. It doesn't have to be just physical. It can be the mental, and if it's both, it compacts. So it's like a struggle, not only to fight the people putting that image on you, but it's trying to protect yourself from having that image actually do harm. It's a very hard phalanx to overcome. So to say.
And Dega Outlaw, any company, any organization or club that focuses on diversity automatically eliminates excellence from every source and is left with diminishing mediocrity. Failure is always the end result.
Agreed. Yeah.
Back to packing.
What are you packing? He's moving? Oh, that's right. He's moving.
He's moving. Dega Outlaw is in the middle of moving, yes.
Well, was he going somewhere nice?
Oh, I would love to see that, Darth. Gina versus Kathleen in an I Quit match in the Octagon. Holy shit.
No, I would pay to see that, but then she would actually be a victim of her own stupidity.
They tried to struggle season her.
What does that mean?
Well, they tried to silence her. They did try and silence her multiple times. Here's the thing. Disney wants lemmings. That's what Disney wants. Disney is conditioning people to work at Disney. If you work at Disney, they want you spouting the same bullshit over and over and over again that all the rest of them are spouting. Whether it's Pablo Hidalgo, whether it's Kathleen Kennedy, whoever it is, they want you spouting the same bullshit, whether you believe it or not. Do you think that it's a joke that Kathleen Kennedy came out just after this and had that long talk about uplifting women in the workplace after firing a strong, independent woman in the workplace?
Let's not forget the Academy Awards and the fact that we're all about diversity here. Yet here's our 3 white women choices for the Academy Awards for hair design and stuff that no one like. That was bad. Like hair design and like that. Like going, here's your old school hypocritical shit again. Stuff against freedom. You swear.
And Psychodorf 9, yes. When you read about Ragnarok, yes, the gods know they're going to lose. They're going to lose that fight. It's the end of the world, and they know it. They're going to lose the fight. It's the more shameful thing to just give up and walk away.
No.
And thank you so very much for that $5 super chat, Psychodorf 9.
Fade in.
Chris Persia, yes, Ironcaster. They tried to perform a struggle session on her, but she was wise enough, realized, and said no.
I love you, Josh.
Love it.
But that's what's weird, because the first thing I thought about it when I was hearing, like when I saw that Academy Awards thing, right? Then they took off the comments, then they took off the likes and dislikes. Like that's how far they've come to like my feelings. And then you know what they did? Yeah, the Fifis. But guess what the Fifis didn't realize? They just went to the next Academy Award video over a just continued. They did. On another person. Oh, bro, like we're at the point where it's not just the TFM. I'm not going to say the hashtag, but it is the fans, the consumers. They've taken inspiration from this. And I said this when we were doing the in-depth thing in Purple, and Loki, you jumped in once in a while. We had a whole great cast. We're at the point now that everything that's been destroyed when it comes to our heroes or role models or childhood, like I know people say it's not destroyed, but it's not destroyed. They're in their own struggle session in their own way, because it's the corporate companies, the people that get handed these things that have not earned them, destroying what they were and what they could be. And they're waiting for people like Gina and others who have stood up to bring not only the actor or actress to save those characters, but make them what they once were. Because I know the past teaches us, but we can't keep clinging all the time if they're never going to grow with us. That's just my opinion.
No, that's correct. Nostalgia is very strong, and Disney do know this. That's why they keep redoing their own IP. But eventually people will tire of that. And as you say, if they keep attacking people, eventually people will wise up to it. You know, it may take a while.
Yeah.
But as you said before, the best way to deal with it is literally close your wallet.
Yeah. Yeah. And they can only slide through this. We can skid by on crumbs. They can only do that for so long. Their parks are in disarray. They need top level blockbusters to continue doing what they're doing. This is not like trying to bail out Paramount or Warner Brothers with a hit here and there. This is fucking Disney. They're losing hundreds of millions and billions of dollars right now.
Mm-hmm.
Hundreds of millions of dollars. They are losing. I know they've lost what, 3-4 billion.
Mm-hmm.
That they're telling us.
Remember
Remember that they're the same types like that buy their own stocks just to resell them to boost them up. They're the same type of people that will like aren't they under investigation right now because they've pimped their numbers in a way that it's not all accurate.
Yes. Multiple times.
Yes, I said this is an ongoing thing because this came up in the last quarter as well. That the numbers weren't adding up.
Makes sense. But I guess a question for, because I know I'm gonna not actually give my opinion at this one, but I want to know, like, low-key as well. When you saw her choose her soul and her own principles, how did that make you feel?
That's why we stand up. That's why we stand up and we speak.
Mm-hmm.
We've all been there. We've all been in that seat
Every day.
Mm-hmm.
When you do something, when you create something, she helped create that character.
Mm-hmm.
We will never see her play that character ever again. That is done. That is over with. She's not going to ever go back and work for them again. You can tell. I honestly believe part of her is relieved she doesn't have to deal with that anymore.
I agree.
Same. Yeah.
Like, and you want to know what's even the most amazing thing? And I want to give this one man a shout out. He got me one of the Kenner style 6 inches, and he found me a Cara Dune and showed me last night. So someone found me a Cara Dune.
Oh, nice.
So, like, if you ever run or ever have a conversation with a guy named Mongo Big Thanks, that man deserves a shout out. He is the biggest, one of the biggest hearts I've ever seen. Like, I almost cried when I got that message last night.
Yeah, I know Mondo.
This has been
a great guy.
He is. He's inspiring because the same way he's inspiring the way Gina is. It's not just reaching out a hand; it's doing the little things. And like, I really hope people don't give up after watching this interview, but also understand that we're all the same. We all get picked on. We all get pointed at, laughed at. Little things about us that they try to make a bigger thing because they're just not only projecting their own hates because they don't want to deal with their own insecurities. They have to point out someone else's. And this is coming from a corporate standpoint. If a corporate like style of business has to say, hey, you guys sit in this room on a call and have 40 random people yell at you, probably the ones they chose are all angry as hell. You have no common sense on how human interaction should work. And that felt like they were setting her up for a stoning. And that bothered me a lot. It bothered a lot of people.
It did. When I heard about that, I was absolutely disgusted.
Yep.
Who the hell do they think they are? Calling her in and having a whole panel of people yell at her
40
for standing
people.
up for standing up for her principles.
40 fucking people.
Yeah.
We're gonna sit you in front of 40 people, and we're gonna have them denigrate you because of beep bop boop. Fuck you.
Yeah. And she even tried, what was it? She tried to even like work it out with them, try to come to a certain understanding. Let me take out 5 of them, sit down one-on-one, have an actual intimate conversation, get to know them, let them know me, and take them out for dinner.
I'm kind of kicking myself, Ironcaster, because I was traveling for Christmas and I saw one at a game store and I didn't buy it. I didn't want any of it at the time. I was just like, nope. I would have, if I'd known what was going to happen, I would have probably bought the Cara Dune one. They had a bunch. And I just didn't want Pedro. I didn't want any of it at the time. I was just like, nope, I don't want to buy it. I don't want to spend the money on something from Disney.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. If I found something on eBay, sure, because you know what? That money's already gone to Disney. The money'd be going to a personal buyer. Money'd be going in someone's pocket. So I would do that. I would not. I just wasn't going to do it at the time. I don't want to give them any money at all.
No.
I don't want to give them any revenue. I don't want to help them. Someone was like, well, how do you watch WandaVision? I watch WandaVision on Flix. Army mateys, I watch it on Flix.
You gotta put on the eye patch and make sure you got it in HD, and then you can 4K the C's, brother.
So, yeah. Where's all the rum gone? That's how I watch it.
I'd be like,
where's the tour? Where's the tour?
I will not spend a dime on Disney. I wish I had a Disney trip on the books just so I could call and cancel it over Gina.
But
it's not even the managers, Mr. CCDB. It's the fucking executives. It's this ideology. Let me tell you guys something. This is conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? When you have a company as big as Disney and you're bringing in all of these people and you're bringing in new actors, new actresses, new talent, and you have this ideology in place, what do you think they're going to do moving forward? This is how you think. This is how you react. This is how you vote. This is how you speak your mind. They are breeding a generation of istphobe morons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're already there too. They're already there. And you know what they are? It's called the consumers and the people who are defending D+, saying she deserved it, saying that Pedro did no wrong, and they're literally right then and there. When they're saying Pedro was fine, because they're not disassociating what actually happened because they have a strong bias or hate because of however the latest political event happened. I'm not going to try to label it, right? But it stems also from their hate of this person. So they don't even see the hypocrisy in what they're saying because they just want, it's all backed up by their own biased hate. Sure, some aren't, but it's all stemming from one thing that they can't get over themselves, and they're then weeding it through, and it's misconstruing not even their own vision, but how they're coming at the whole situation when it comes to Gina and Disney and the other actors in general.
And thank you, Mr. Tickle Trunk, for the Yorkie farting hearts, brother. We love it. Thank you so very much, Skull, brother. And if I haven't said Skull to anybody else that sent in a super chat this morning, Skull. I know we're not running the skulls this morning, but thank you. Thank you. I have one reserved for everyone. Thank you so much, Loki. They are breeding lemmings. They are breeding lemmings. They are breeding followers that will walk off the cliff. They will take a nosedive off the cliff for Disney. That is what they are breeding.
Critical thinking, the ability to analyze something has gone out the window as well. Anyone could have sat back and read her tweet, and instead of this knee-jerk reaction, they could have said, okay, so what is it she's actually trying to say? But no, they all had to dogpile on and run with this narrative. And once it got going, there was no stopping it.
Mm-hmm. We're at the point now where conversation and criticism and discussion is either considered harassment or whining because they don't know the art anymore. They're not raised in the art anymore. The generations that are coming don't understand what it is to listen. They don't understand that the mentality of working hard isn't always going to reward you. but you're supposed to appreciate the fact that you applied yourself enough to work hard, and eventually will come in the future. And they don't understand the word no.
Yeah. Participation trophies.
Yeah.
They don't understand that sometimes, even though you can try your best and work your hardest, you can still fail. And that's okay. It's not failing. It's what you do after you fail that matters.
I want to quote before I read this. Sorry, I want to quote one of the lines from Nolan's Batman, and I did this before. This is Alfred talking to young Bruce, and he's like, "Master Wayne, why do we fall down? To learn to pick ourselves up."
That's right.
That is literally the whole point of when we fall is we're supposed to learn how to use our own self to pick up. It's not physically, it's mentally, it's emotionally. And sometimes you'll have people there in your corner to help you with the hand out, and sometimes they won't. But we have to pick ourselves up. If you constantly keep sitting in the dirt, you're always going to be blinded by the dust.
I think at the end of the day, also, people need to realize that you're not owed anything. That's another big thing that seems to have been prevalent recently. Well, in the last 5-10 years, people seem to think that things are handed to you. You don't have to work for them, like what you guys were saying.
But you guys are the opposite. You guys work hard every day for this show.
You know what, man? I'm going to say something here, and it may not be the popular thing to say. Okay. Some people might get a little pissed off about this. I have talked to creators over the last year that expect everything to come to them. Why is this not working? I'm just sitting here waiting. Why do I not have 10,000 subscribers? Get on, do your stuff, have a good time, and don't worry about all that other bullshit. It's not about how many subscribers you have. It's not about how many people you have on your live streams. It's not about freaking how many people give you a thumbs up. It's about getting on, having a good time, doing what you do, and working hard. It's about those all-night sessions where you're reading and you're studying and you're looking at a topic that you really care about. And you want to not only impress the people you're talking to, but impress yourself with the hard work. Mm-hmm. It's about the hard work and the dedication and having a good time while you're doing it. That's why we're here.
That's why when Loki, no offense, I'm gonna give an example. Like when you do the clobbering times and all that stuff, like when you yell the names, that's you see the amount of green fire emojis that just go crazy when you're shouting on your intro. That is you, because you're this is a relation what you're trying to say. You are not only applying yourself, you're infusing yourself into it. And when people feel that emotional attachment, that determination, that wanting people to feel they're welcome, to get them their own fires burning, that's the same thing. You can't sit around and wait for that bus to grab you and pick you up and ride a wave if you're not willing to apply yourself to anything. And that's all it is. It's hard work. Applying you have to, every day you wake up and you start breathing, your body's doing all the hard work for you. All you got to do is apply yourself to what you want to talk about. That's and if you can just have fun, you can have good people that are there with you that you can feed off of, even giving other people a chance and discussion while having the humor, because humor is definitely needed right now. You can do anything. You're supposed to have fun, but you don't ever let yourself become fake. That's the way I live.
I don't come up here and rant and be fake. I won't do it. If something is passionate, if I am passionate about something, you will hear it. Everyone that was on Clobbering Time stream last night heard me very passionately talk about aliens. That is not something that I have passionately spoke about in a long time. I went completely off on Prometheus. I went off on Alien Covenant. I was very agitated. Why? Because I love that series. I love what they tried to do, and I love Ridley Scott as a director, and I fucking hated both of those movies. I fucking hated them.
Good.
I get so pissed when I talk about them. That is not me. That is not me artificially creating something to go off about. That is me really getting pissed off and getting upset and ranting. And I will not come up here and I will not rant about something that I am not absolutely positively passionate and pissed off about.
No, people see through manufactured rage. You can only keep that going for so long. If the passion isn't behind it, it's meaningless.
Oh, and Sentinel. Yes, I want to see Blomkamp's alien movie. Yes, that is so fucking... That is a travesty that they took that and didn't run with that. That's Fox. That's Fox being morons. And you saw what happened to Fox. They just got gobbled up by a fucking rat.
Mm-hmm. But
they were the cheese.
I'm also kind of happy this happened because I like having role models and people that are willing to stand by themselves. And it's just, I've been in an emotional wreck since that interview dropped. It's not a bad emotional wreck. It's the fact that so many people are relating. They're reaching out. They leave comments. They talk about it. They're thanking Gina. They're thanking Ben. It has caused such a tsunami of positivity that it's a rare thing to get. And you can hear when people talk about the good parts that came out of this, not just like how bad it got, but like the outcome afterwards. When she says things like, "Oh, there's scripts being handed to me. I'm happy to," like when you, like what Purple said, when it felt like two different interviews, when she broke off and became, when she talked about the MMA fighting, and now she says, if you need something that builds confidence, something that makes you feel stronger about yourself in MMA, you saw the change in her persona. She was trying to show where her happiness lies, and she was trying to say there are chances, and it's
she did. You could see the instant change in her. Her head was up. She was smiling.
Yeah.
You could hear it in her voice. And as you say, she is a role model. She is someone who I am going to follow now much more closely.
You're a role model too, but can you give me all your subs first, please? I haven't done anything in a while. I just need all your subs. I don't want to work for it. Loki, can I have all your subs too, please? I promise a Chris Crow body rub. I promise, brother.
A long time ago, I walked away from voice acting. I loved theater, guys. I loved theater. I loved getting to be a part of that and getting to act. That was like the thing. That was the thing everybody said I was good at. And I walked away from it because I wasn't going to take a knee for anybody. I walked away from it because I found out, oh, well, you want this and you want this. Guess what? You're going to have to take a knee to get it. And I recently being involved in this morning show, getting to do things with Pat Steven, getting to do things with Mexican Iron Man, getting to do shows with Purple Valkyrie, getting to bring back out my creative side in that, it makes me happy. And I can see that. I saw that in that interview where she was talking about getting to do something and getting those opportunities and those possibilities. And that is exactly what she wants. She went from being a knockdown, drag out fighter to getting to do something she loves. And that's what she wants to do. And she is being told by a company, unless you get on your knees and suck it, we aren't going to let you do that, and we're going to fucking cancel you. Well, fuck that.
Yeah. That's what she was told. You don't toe the line. Then tough. But I'm so glad that her future is bright. And it is.
And
she didn't sell her soul.
And Purple, like when we asked the question, like, would you consider her to be a role model for the younger generations if you ever had kids, if anyone ever had kids? And you said yes. And I hope a lot of people actually agree and say yes, because it means you have the ability to choose. It's not just to work hard for what you want. You have the ability to choose and work hard for yourself, because you, at the end of the day, are always going to be you. and you have to see how much your soul is going to be worth. And if you think if there's a dollar amount attached to it, how empty does it make you feel if you think that's true?
Hmm. Yeah, if you have to be bought, you're not worth the price.
Yeah.
That's
And they're
what
after
I
her
would say.
family. They are after her family. They want to get
Yeah.
her family fired. They want to put her family through the ringer. That is what these people do when they say that you need to push them out, make sure they can't go anywhere, make sure they lose their jobs, make sure they can't go out to dinner. That's what these people want, is to shame you out of everything. Shame you out of public existence. Shame you out of your jobs. And if they can't do it to you, they'll do it to your fucking family.
It's not just her family either. They also tried the bot accounts started popping up where they were trying to go after Cavill because they dated, so they're trying to go after by association. They're going to probably go after Carl. They've already gone after Drunk, and I'm going to bring this up. I hope I'm not trying to take it off the subject, but he had his they couldn't take down the Rebellion shirts, but hell, they went after his the C-3PO likeness shirt, and they got that taken down.
Yep.
And they tried to tag Disney, and now they have to block all of us so they can tag Disney with their own narrative and saying, "Hey, isn't this copyright?" I'm like, you can't copyright words.
No, you can't.
You can't do that. So they went after the C-3PO stuff and got that taken down. And then they're making up narratives where, like, I had a discussion. It wasn't a discussion. It was pretty much trying to use logic, and they kept spelling their own farts. But they kept gumming at it and going at it like they were trying to say that. And then they tried to spin a narrative on their own profile. They tried to redo a conversation while quoting me on their profile. And then they spun a narrative saying this is what actually happened and tried to say like, I was whining and then this and that. And then I had other people like saying, oh, well, I'm like, look, I'm not American. I'm like, this has nothing to do with me about political stuff. And he's like, well, then you must be British because British, you could bring up that one line about how you don't have any violence. I mean, who said it was British? Canada's right above you. Do you not know geography, bro? It's the mindsets these people go to. That's when you start realizing that you're talking to someone that has no actual quality of information behind their arguments, and it stems to something else that they project. And you have a lot of these people you're going to get to eventually see. Don't block them. Don't get angry at them if you don't need to. Just use logic and common sense of fact, and eventually they just give up or they'll block you. But this stems from something else. They hide and use pronouns. Like, I understand the pronouns situation. I understand that some are using it because they want to feel like they're verified. They're people. That this is who they want to be. This is who they are. But then you have the other set of these people that are using those in their profile, and it's their shield, so they can continue being the ist, the phobic, the ism. And now it's going to be eventually
change.
Yeah. And now the next one is going to come. And I called this 2 days ago, and I want people to start paying attention. Anti-Semitism is going to be the next one they're going to start using as the next word bullet. And it's
they
happening.
already started. They already started.
Yeah, they already started.
Psychodor of 9 with the $5 super chat. How many artists, how many bands, how many performers sold out and faded away? Exactly. How many bands, how many artists? Yes, sold out and faded away and became something they're not.
Yeah.
And Sinister Sid Official, Gina Carano gives me hope that I won't have to fear wokeness and cancellation when I'm sick. Don't fear it. Don't fear it. Fuck them.
No, fuck them.
Do not be shamed into compliance, because that is exactly what they want. That is exactly what they are going to try and do. They will try and shame you, and it's all going to backfire. It is.
How many times have you heard it? You should be ashamed of thinking this. You should be ashamed of saying this.
I'm only ashamed at a buffet.
And then when you come back at them with logic, it's all mental gymnastics.
And like I said, I'm only ashamed of what people watch me at the buffet. That's pretty much it. Because I've taken out a couple people's hands and arms in the process of getting chicken wings. So
are the chicken wings flying behind you while you're saying goody, 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 goody?
It's more like, oh, piece of chicken wing. 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 Oh God, I feel so empty now.
Mr. Tickle Trunk, we Canadians are the quiet neighbor over a really loud party.
Yeah, that I know that comedian's line. It's like Canada is considered that loft right above a great house party.
And no, they don't. No. The new fans, the new quote fans that Disney is getting. No, they don't give a shit about the content. They don't give a shit about what's on. They're not going to pay for it. They're not going to watch it. They're not going to. They consume is what Disney wants, and that's not what's going to happen. They're not going to buy any of it because
No,
they don't
there's
have
no,
any money.
Piece of
I don't
chicken
like
wing.
everything.
Sorry.
You know, Disney had the most amazing opportunity when they procured Star Wars. Can you imagine having an IP and then killing your golden goose?
Doing what they did to Star Wars is the dumbest thing they've ever done. And seeing everyone come back after the Luke Skywalker thing, to people talking about having faith, people talking about it's back. They finally heard us. I'll raise my hand. I'm one of them. They heard us. They knew. They have righted a wrong in the Star Wars universe. Are they going to write an even bigger one? And you've got Pablo Hidalgo running his mouth, pointing his finger, shaming people. You've got the woman, I can't even remember her name, that is in charge of that's in charge of the High Republic, that is pointing her fingers, running her mouth, running people down, shaming them on social media. You've got Pedro Pascal running his mouth. And I think, I honestly believe, by what she said, by what Gina said, that they are encouraging them and saying, this is part of your job. Do this or you're in deep shit. Do this or we'll go somewhere else. And I think that people are bending the knee. And I don't think that that's going to stay the status quo. I think this is one of those things that's like, well, guess what? If you work for them, prepare yourself for this level of indoctrination and this level of conditioning by the people you work for. And people are going to start turning away and saying, no, I don't want to work for them. Because for every John Favreau that they're like, oh, please come work for this, there's going to be a newbie that comes in that they will train and condition to be their little speaking point. And copy. We want carbon copies. Why would they do this? Why would they turn this way? Why would they go completely almost socialist? It's really easy. China. They want to impress China. We can condition our people to do exactly what we want. We can bend the knee and drink your soy milk. We will have a company that does whatever you ask of us because you're paying our bills.
But it's not even that. It's failing. You know, how well did Milan do?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Has any Disney property been canceled in China? Any Disney property been canceled in China? Like, let's say Monster Hunter was.
Yep.
No.
That movie was bad.
Oh yeah. It was fucking
I watched
horrible.
part of it. It was bad.
I watched 10 minutes of it and said, nope.
I watched the whole thing and I still haven't recovered recovered. It's
no,
so
I just won't. I won't waste the time anymore. I will not waste the time. Yeah, like telemarketers, just hang up on them, but don't pay them any attention. Trinoculus P. No, just don't pay them any attention. Just hang up on them.
Well, that's what they thrive on, isn't it? It's attention. You know, they say that we're the vocal minority, but that isn't the case.
No. When the normies got involved in this, when you start seeing normies get involved in this, when you start seeing normies getting attacked, there is a point where your little campaign, your little woke SJW campaign, your little blue-haired land whale campaign, there comes a point where when the normies are watching and the normies are seeing what you're doing, the normies are like, whoa, this is fucked up. You have now destroyed your bottom line.
Yep.
You've destroyed where your money's coming in.
Well,
so when the normies get involved, that's it.
Because normies don't usually pay attention. They don't go into the depths of what the actual stories come from. They just see whatever the media says, whatever mainstream says, whatever the main Twitter account says. So they don't get a grasp of the whole situation because they don't really care, but they want to keep an eye on it just in case it's something that they will care about in the future. But this is a different thing. This is a different pop-up book. This is a pop-up book that's not only shedding light on the darkness, because that's all Sith over there at this point, pretty much, in my point of view.
Yes.
It's showing that there is still a real Skywalker, but her name is Carano. And I think that's also what bothers some of the higher ups when it comes to Disney, is because Gina is what Rey could never be. And she is proving this in real life, not as just as an actress, but as herself as a person. She is strong inside and out. She knows how to defend herself inside and out. She knows how to be humble and how to work with someone to make a common ground. This is what corporate doesn't do or know, because it's now we're at the point where if you don't like it, don't buy it, don't read it. If you don't like it, you're this, this, or this. And we're going to keep lecturing you. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to go outside, especially with the way it's been the last year and whatever, to get lectured. When they turn on their screen, it's nothing but lectures.
Nope.
You have to wear 2 or 3 of these. We're done with this.
It's all lecturing, and you will do what we tell you to do, or else we will shame you. You get shamed if you go to the grocery store and you don't do exactly what you're supposed to. You're shamed if you go out in public and you don't do exactly what you're supposed to. You're shamed in your movies. You're shamed in your TV. Shame, 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 shame. Do you guys want to live in a world where you are constantly shamed by someone? I don't.
It's like it's like Body Snatchers, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. You know when they all point and scream? That's literally what's going on right now. They're training you to be that.
And I'm not going to do it. And a $5 super chat from MB Geek Let's Talk. Come Saturday, going to the country, going to eat me a lot of peaches. Papers are signed and movers are here. By the way, Gina interview of Ben Shapiro, it was awesome. Thank you so very much. MB Geek Let's Talk. Skull, brother.
Skull. Millions of peaches. Peaches for geek. That's the only time I'm going to sing that.
Good luck on your move, brother. I know I know how happy you are to get your place.
Just be careful of those ninjas that hide in the trees by the end of that music video. They're everywhere. I'm sorry.
The cash that Disney covets, they will not have my money. They will not have my cash. I will not tell you what to do with your money. That is something I will not do. I think far too many people are telling other people what to do with their damn money. They won't have mine. They will not have mine. And because they won't have mine, anybody like MB Geek just sent me $5. I know that Psychodorp 9 sent in a super chat earlier. Because they won't have my money, they're not going to have your money either.
And I don't want anyone ever to think that when we say cancel Disney Plus, we're just reiterating the hashtag. We're not telling you how to spend your money. It's your money. It's your choice. Don't ever feel guilty if you don't want to cancel or not. It's not our place. It's the same thing with standing up or standing your ground. Do not kneel. It's your choice at the end of the day, but it doesn't make you a bad person because it's you. No one can hold that against you. And if they do, that's the other person's fault, trying to make you feel bad.
And good morning, Polly.
Good morning, Polly. If we did that, we'd be just as bad as the people we're fighting against, and we would never do that.
That's the one thing I wanted to ask. I know people like we had a discussion last night on Yeti's channel, right? But we were trying to figure out how do you push back without becoming the monster that we're pushing back against, and if standing the ground is good enough.
And Pat I know you want to say something, Paulie, but let me get this out real quick while I'm Pat S says, I wish we could go back to being 20th century nerds. Before 2000, they would make fun of us for what we love, but they stayed out of our stuff. I want to say something. I watched an interview with a woman that was talking about changing Dungeons and Dragons and how Dungeons and Dragons had to be changed to conform to her. And she told this story about how when she was in high school, she would make fun of all the nerds playing Dungeons and Dragons. But now her and her, quote, partner, unquote, were playing Dungeons and Dragons with a small group of people and how the game had to change to conform to her sensibilities.
Mhm.
It's high time this game changed to conform to the way we play it. And I'm like, how fucking arrogant are you that you used to make fun of all of us for playing this game, but now that you're a part of it, it has to change to suit you. Kiss my fat white ass.
How many times have you
I'll kiss it.
this isn't yours anymore? This
Yep.
doesn't belong to you. This is ours now. We're going to take this over. We're going to change it. The thing that you loved, you can't have anymore. And if you don't conform to how it is now, well, you're a list, you're a phobe. We didn't want you here in the first place. And this is being said to fans that have been fans for 20, 30, maybe even 40 years of an IP. It could be anything. It could be Doctor Who, Star Trek, Star Wars, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Everything that people used to have as a hobby, everything they used to find solace in, they've just sucked the joy out of it.
They used to be the same type of people that would beat us up if we had a Power Rangers lunchbox or a Princess Leia backpack, or let's say the Smurfs coloring book when you brought to school, or an action figure in your backpack. These are the same types of people. And now it's come to the point where it's become a mainstream fad that they think because they've insulted so many people, they have to continue to insult these people, push them down, and take it over and make it suitable for the jock and the cheerleader. And I'm not saying everyone is an evil jock and cheerleader, but I'm trying to give a representation across the board. This is how they are. They can't be comfortable with themselves just to enjoy it. They have to wipe their butt across it like it's a carpet.
And a Hawks holocron. Dude, what you spend your money on, that is completely up to you. If someone does, I'm not going to jump anyone's ass for not going out and canceling Disney Plus.
No.
If you believe that there is hope, dude, I'm right there with you. I will stand next to you. I will raise my fucking fist up in the air and I will say, hell yeah. I completely support that. Mm-hmm. Because I was fighting the good fight during The Mandalorian when people were saying that it will always be Disney and nothing's ever going to change. And I enjoyed The Mandalorian. And one of the big reasons I enjoyed The Mandalorian was because of the Cara Dune character. I thought she was badass. I was like, this is the badass chick. When you talk about a chick that rocks the house, when you talk about a chick that kicks ass, this is the chick you're talking about. So I'm going to support that. And they got rid of her. Mm-hmm. So no, brother, I'm totally with you. I know exactly where you're coming from. That's why I tell people I don't tell others what to do with their money.
Yeah, they got rid of. Yeah, I'm sorry. They got rid of literally the thing that they were trying to prop up. Everything they say they're for. That they wanted to shine a light on. Gina was that, and they got rid of her because you know why? She was that, but she was also free thinking, and they don't like free thinking.
I don't like free thinking. And $5 super chat from Eris of Chaos. I don't watch or even care about The Mandalorian, but I do love me a strong woman who doesn't kneel. Respect strong women. Thank you so very much, Eris of Chaos, for that $5 super chat. Skull.
I like strong women with tentacles. They're very good. I had to.
And Dark Shadow Logan. Back in the 80s and 90s, we had people like D. Snyder and others that would not tolerate censorship. Yes, dude, yes. And the bull crap we have going on today, right now, we have Gina, but that is one. Yes, no, I totally agree with you, brother. I totally agree with you. In the 90s and the 80s and 90s, there was so much going on with censorship, and everybody was against it. Artists should be free to express themselves. People should be free to say what they're going to say. There was such a strong stand against censorship, and now people are begging for censorship and begging for things to be edited out and begging for people to have their artistic license taken away because they won't kneel to censorship. They won't kneel to shaming. They won't kneel to these companies wanting it the way they want it. And it's complete and total bullshit, brother. Yes, I know. I'm right there with you, Dark Shadow Logan.
Wait.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Latino.
Can we, Polly?
I had a question. Can we censor censorship?
Okay.
So go ahead.
Just enjoying this coffee. I'm just trying to catch up with you guys. you had asked a question. Fat Steven. Good morning, Fat Steven.
Your voice right now is very welcoming. I like it.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
It's very soft and Latino. Yes,
It's like you're near the campfire.
We ground these coffee beans from the hills of Zimbabwe.
we make sure to filter each bean with the love and
Yes.
Latino slant of grace and taco flavor.
No, what is?
And we churn it at a medium
I
pace.
personally oversee every bean that comes out of my fields, and I make sure that each cup that is grounded and brewed is a cup that I can drink.
I sing to each single coffee bean with the sonata of everyone I've met in my Mexican and Latino lineage.
I like my women like I like my coffee in a mug.
It's better than saying in your basement.
No, but yeah, right. In my case, the back room where Mrs. Slant throws me. Do all your shit over there, pal.
I always whip my beans in the morning. It makes them feel so masochistic.
Oh yes. You said, how do you? I wish I had listened to the talk last night. I love you and Yeti. I love your passion, Fat.
Thank you.
And,
I love eating too.
Right.
Sven the Naked Nordic Ninja said, "Stop! My penis can only get so erect."
I know. Paulie needs to do ASMR.
What did I do, people? All I did was talk.
Join Latino around the campfire as I crush each bean while humming my favorite tunes.
You want me to talk differently right now? Is that improve my my point?
Look at the colors.
Hi everyone.
Look at the colors.
My name is Polly, and I am from Latino Slant. And this morning I'm here with Loki and Purple Valkyrie and Fat Steven Seagal.
Oh, Loki.
It sounds like Harvey from.
I don't know what it sounds. I heard just talking like that. Mr. Chook. You would ask the question is how do you get better than how do you like fight them, or do you take a stand? What was it? You made a good point.
The question is, how do you push back without becoming the monster you're pushing back against? And is standing your ground good enough? Or is it weakness because you're still giving them ground? But how can you give them ground if you're not moving an inch?
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and I would say just keep doing what you're doing, and then just it's literally what Gina said. Gina's a very smart person. She's got life smart, and just because she's just now getting politically active. That's like a really good thing for a lot of people. She said, I like talking to people eye to eye.
Yeah.
Conversation.
That's what champs do. She's a champ.
That's right. That's right.
And I would say just keep talking eye to eye to people, my brother.
When she said that, Paulie, when she asked that lady to take her glasses off so she can sit down, and I was like, oh yeah.
But she also said this. You remember this? This was the one thing I liked about the MMA thing. I like being in the ring. I like looking eye to eye with my opponent. It's intimacy. It's the type of intimacy I respect and like. I like other forms of intimacy, but I like that intimacy because it's you and them. And I bet you have the same thing because you are trained in the arts in certain ways. You are black belt in certain ways, Paulie. So does that go for you as well? Can you relate to that from the ring side?
Well, that's a fighter's mentality, which is what we're in on some levels, right?
Yeah,
we're in the fight of our lives on with certain issues so it does work. I think what we just need to do, and Gina said that as well, is that we need to constantly check our ego, because if we're operating from a place of anger and as well as fear, then you're not going to get the results that you want. Now you can be aggressive and you can take your stand, but just make sure that you're operating from a place of humility and grace, and you're going to get the results that you want. I do, because it would be easy for me to, like, when I'm teaching and a
Take
kid's
care, Sven.
take care, son.
Bye,
A kid is
Sven.
acting up, or someone's not paying attention. It'd be very easy for me to say, "Hey, shut the fuck up. Listen." Sorry for cursing. Like to kind of respond in anger all the time. I'm not going to get the results I want from my students. I had to take a stripe away from a kid 2 weeks ago.
How does that work?
Well, you give them warnings.
I mean,
You
does
know,
it devastate them? That's what I mean.
I hope so, because you don't the kid earned the stripe from in testing and working hard to it, and then he blew it. Not in one in one example, but many examples where many times I had to say, you have to watch your behavior. I can take your stripe away. This is not how you're supposed to behave. You're my lead student, and step by step, right? And then finally you let them get away with it, and then what happens? He fought with another kid off the mats.
What?
He was excited. He's excited, he's not mean, he's not a mean kid. It was he just, was overcome. I don't know what. The class was done, and he rolls the kid almost onto the cement. And I'm like, "Come over here." And I took off his stripe. And I said, "You did the ultimate thing that none of us ever do, is that you fight off the mats. And that's what bullies do. All right? Now you're going
You
to earn
taught him
this."
humility.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and listen, I had to hear it from the parents, but they get it. I said, you gotta be behind me, or else, you can take your money. I don't need it, because, he knows a lot of jujitsu, but now how is he gonna have that responsibility out there, with dealing with regular kids and dealing in school? You can't be that bully, man. You got to have
No.
respect. And they were all behind it. They're all behind it. And
You did good,
he's got to
Paulie.
work. He's got to work and do the test all over again, so he can get his strike back.
That's fine though, but you did good because you put not only his own eyes on himself to make sure he doesn't cross that line again, but you taught him that one choice can cost you all your work. You gave him a valuable lesson. You gave him you did the right thing. And I think he, in a way, he's actually going to be grateful in the future, man, because I know you care about him. You can hear in your voice. It isn't an easy choice being the villain, even if the villain is not a villain, but a way of teaching. And you got to reach that principle. And sometimes you got to cross that line. You did the right thing.
You taught him a life lesson.
Well, it's important. Yeah, Purple. It's important that the parents were behind me, because they implement it day to day. It's like and I said, just lay back on me. Hey, Professor Paul's gonna hear it, or Professor Paul is, just throw it back on me. So he's gonna take He's gonna take the test again next week. And I heard a story of, like, so kind of like the same thing of your Dungeons and Dragons story. Like, they say they want to change karate, or the kid didn't want to earn his belt.
Yep.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Paulie kicks every bean.
I had a conversation with my daughter once, when she was playing soccer, and she got really pissed at me. And I remember giving her this look, and she went almost to tears. And I've seen parents go off on their kids. I've seen parents yell. I've seen parents spank. I've seen parents damn near beat a kid to death in a Walmart once, and was just like, damn, it's not all about that. I gave my daughter a look, and she went to tears, because I was like, look, number one, you're a part of a team. It's not you. It's not about you. It's about your team. When you play for a team, you play for that team. You don't play for yourself. Everyone's involved in it. When you are making a television series like Gina was doing in Mandalorian, that is about everyone making that television series. And when you've got someone when you've got Pedro Pascal running his mouth, if you've got Pablo Hidalgo running his mouth for Disney, if you've got these people running their mouths, talking shit, making the fans look like shit, shaming the fans into compliance, saying you have no right to watch our show, when you've got someone like fucking that nasty piece of work, Brie Larson, saying I don't need a white man telling me what he doesn't like about this show. That is what people do. That is their opinion. Fuck you for trying to take away people's opinion. Fuck you for trying to silence someone because of the color of their skin, you istphobe bitch. Fuck you for making people feel ashamed for talking about how they feel about something.
And even when we're bringing facts to the table, right? Like with the whole authors in the Republic. That, like, I'm sorry I had to do this. I'm so sorry.
Get it on, brother.
I'm still upset Chun-Li didn't help the Mandalorian.
And scold Fat Steven.
That is hilarious, man. That is hilarious. But
damn.
But
right.
yeah, man. I mean, I'd say it's just case by case. See him in the eye, man. You know, they don't like that shit. You know, it's just that's the bullies are cowards. You know, and it's like, and but you know, that's how you can get respect too. And then it's like, hopefully, you can meet at the table and have a talk. And if you can't, ni modo, it's time to move on.
Yep.
But that's what we were saying earlier. You know, the art of discussion has been lost. You know, people don't want to sit down and talk. They just want to tell you what you should think.
Yeah, and that's the other side with us, is that we all don't agree. You know,
no,
I disagree. I very disagree.
Exactly. I mean,
and Chris Cook with a popcorn super sticker. Thank you so very much, Chris Cook. And Ray J's World with a $5 super chat. I don't know what's going on. Lucasfilm fires Gina. Then there's reports that George Lucas is writing episodes of Andor. Is Disney scared? Oh, hell yeah, Disney's scared. Disney doesn't want any of the shit that's going on. They thought everyone would just file in behind them on this Gina Carano mess. They never saw this coming. Let me tell you what happens, and this that Shapiro talked about this, guys. Shapiro talked about this. When Hollywood cancels someone, they go away. They go away for 3 or 4 years. They might have like a return. Oh, they went to rehab. Everyone, welcome Bruce back. He went to rehab, and they'll have a little welcome back party and see where the waters are. That's not what happened here. Gina said, oh, hell no, y'all ain't canceling my ass, and didn't let it happen. And she's getting opportunities immediately. Disney put its foot down, and people are not following the rule of, well, this person's canceled. Don't hire them for anything. Don't bring them on for anything.
Yeah, ultimatums don't work anymore.
And welcome, Dave Bob.
Hey, Dave, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good there.
I like your chicken wings. Do they come in barbecue and honey garlic? Come here, big boy.
My chicken lips will smack your eyes out.
Not if I eat them first, you sexy little beast, you know.
Is that like the bat wings we were talking about yesterday?
Oh, you mean the batawangs? Set to vibrate? I'm sorry, I'm going to bring that up. I'm sorry.
Clearly discrimination, Chris Persia. It is. It's clearly discrimination. It is. It's exactly what it is.
It's the same thing as like we were just talking about, like we don't tell you how to spend your money. Disney's not following that prerogative. They're telling you how to spend your soul. They're telling you how to spend your thinking. They're telling you that's like their money. They're doing the same thing. But I have to say one thing. Master Wayne, why do we vibrate? So we can pulse again.
Kind of funny that a huge corporation's taking the moral high ground, or at least trying to.
Yeah. Yes, and censor and remove. They're removing her from. I would not be surprised if they have another actress and they CG that actress into the show and completely erase Gina from the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
John Favreau would have a frickin' fit. He
Yes.
would.
brought her in especially for that role. He
That's
wrote
right.
that role
He
for
wrote
her.
Yes, he wrote that role for her. He did, but it belongs to Disney. It belongs to Disney.
Not anymore. They had to erase it because they know it doesn't belong to Disney. Gina is that face. And let's go back to that picture. Let's go back to that picture where the artist had to redo it, right, and put it in with Rosario. My question was, you remember this, Purple? What happens when they start going after Rosario? Is that artist going to have to redo that picture again too?
This morning, that news just came out, and I'm looking at it. Tom from Midnight's Edge just
what
tweeted, trying to find that's their next target.
Yeah, it is.
Let me pull it up. I'll give it to you. You got it?
Guilt by association. They couldn't get rid of her, so they're just the next person.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
You see it?
Yeah, I got it. Do you want me to bring it up?
Pat S. I love it. I love it. If anyone thinks Loki isn't open-minded, I'd like to point out that a Texan let his kid play soccer. Yes.
You mean that football I hear so much about from the UK?
And encouraged her every step of the way. I love that she did that.
This is what's going on.
Wow.
And they went after Cavill on the weekend, and they realized that you can't go after Superman. Go after Rosario. They're going to go after Carl. They're going to go after everyone. Like I like it when we were talking about this. Everyone's a target now, even YouTubers.
I hate to say it, but I actually hope they do go after Rosario because they're going to go into a world of problems.
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah, they are.
Let me get it from her. Yeah.
They've already got such a black eye now that they're reeling. If they keep it up, they're going to lose all credibility.
They don't have any credibility. They lost that years ago.
Well, they think they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they also believe that the world is probably also flat and covered by chicken nuggets at this point.
I'll quit talking about my brethren.
They taste so good, though. Like, look at this. Like.
Gina Carano's okay.
Sorry, I apologize.
Gina Carano's firing for the role of Cara Dune changed the landscape of Mandalorian and reshaped the overall Star Wars fans' experience. Suddenly, the fandom was divided by Abrams versus Johnson or prequel versus sequel. The only thing that seemed to matter was where you stood on fire Gina Carano versus I stand with Gina.
Don't care about the smart water crap. Moving on.
How did it happen? An alliance of extremely dedicated, extremely young fans took it on themselves to make sure everyone was included, even in the face of derision. Inverse spoke to 3 people behind the #Fire Gina Carano movement to find out how they got one of the Star Wars galaxy's biggest star fired, why it matters, and most importantly, what happens next.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. They, them. They don't even know where they are, who they are. They don't even know if they're a single individual.
She's the villain. Yeah, they,
she's not.
Them. Bad jungler, they, them.
They're trying to make her out to be, but
why would you take pride in trying to hurt someone to the point? Look, I'm gonna go back quickly. You guys all remember the Zoe Quinn stuff that happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember when she put up those false accusations to the point where the guy canceled himself?
Yep.
This is the same type of mentality. They don't care. They want someone to not only end their life, like whether it be in their occupation and their soul, to the point where they don't exist. This is villainy.
Well, look at the language that they use as well. Yeah, she is the villain. She's not a villain. She's an actress that gave her an opinion. One that
Did she spell villain wrong?
It's possible. Yes.
Yes, she did.
Villain? You are a villain. There you go.
Oh, it shows.
Oh my
crash tear.
Not
it
more.
Shows.
So this article at the end connects to Rosario and
does
way towards the bottom.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead and show us that. Go ahead, because we all know how this ends. Beep boop beep.
Right.
We all know how this
the
story
Ahsoka
ends.
problem.
All right, I'm trying to find it. Hi, Gina. Hi, how are you? Hi. Sorry. Wow, these guys went in depth. There we go. Oh, wow.
Problem. Yeah, go ahead and scroll down. Though not currently a part of the Mandalorian recurring cast, Rosario Dawson is poised to star in her own Mandalorian spinoff series simply titled Ahsoka. However, Dawson and her family were recently sued by a trans man who claimed they purposefully misgendered him and even assaulted him. misgender. She purposefully misgendered me.
If you don't know-
Purposefully.
What?
Though all charges against Dawson herself were dropped, the fandom is wary another Carano-like situation is lurking. It bugs me and several other people, and I think that it would be good if they at least recast. Yeah, here we go. Recast the actress because she
Who the
already makes
hell
so
is
many
this
people
idiot?
uncomfortable. Makes people uncomfortable. Kennedy agrees, adding, I think that the majority of Stan Twitter, myself included, are skeptical of her because we don't know if the charges on her are true or not. So let's just get rid of her. We don't know what's true and we don't know what's false. So let's just get rid of her. How does that sound fucking familiar?
Yeah, it does. It's, court of public opinion, find her guilty, get rid of her. Nobody cares about what the
No.
facts are.
Oh,
It's
I'm
all about
sure.
hurt
You
feelings.
know, with Rosario is they're running into a lot of walls with her.
All right. Yeah.
So it's going to be very interesting how they because
I like to.
I'm
sorry.
so fucking sick of this. A $5 super chat from Ray J's World. George is now writing for Disney Star Wars. I get a feeling they hired George for cancel culture to get him too, and fandom will go to war with Disney. Fandom's already at war with Disney. Fandom is already. We've been at war since The Last Jedi came out. This has been a fucking 4-year war.
Can I make a quick disclaimer to everyone in the chat who's watching? I know this is probably angering a lot of people. This is getting a lot of people probably enraged. Don't tweet them. Don't look for these tweets. Do not reply to them. Do not make these people shine or give them any type of platform acknowledgement. Don't give them ammo. That's what I'm going to say right now because they feed off that. Because as soon as you start replying to these tweets, they're going to come back at you. And they're going to keep going so they can make more of their own point of view more valid. So
by all means, let them come after me. I don't really get
but you know what I mean? Don't initiate the battle if you don't have to. Stand your ground. Don't initiate.
Well,
That's what I'm going to say.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. This is disgusting.
I don't reply to any of that stuff.
No, never mind. But there's a public forum and anyone can say
It's a waste
within
of
reason
time.
anything to anyone else.
It's a waste of time. All you're doing is just falling into their trap.
You can't even masturbate.
Going after people for their opinion on a show, going after people for their doing their job. All this shit needs to end. And these people, you know what? Here's the problem. No one ever took these fucks out behind a woodshed and fucking and took the rod to them. That's the fucking problem.
Mm-hmm.
That is the problem. These people running their mouths, these people talking shit, these people doing shit like this, getting people canceled. No one ever disciplined them and showed them this is what is right, this is what is wrong.
So what Paulie was saying, they're not taught that actions have consequences.
That's right.
Yeah. Can I ask a question though? Have you guys ever been on the point where you've done something bad when you were a kid, where you either got the belt, you got the spanking, you got the wooden spoon, and I got the wooden spoon, but it broke on my butt. I laughed. Don't do that because then they pull out the plastic spoon. It hurts a lot more. But
I was talking about my kid earlier, giving her that look. It wasn't that she was afraid that I was going to spank her. It wasn't that she was afraid that I was going to physically discipline her. It was that she was terrified she was going to disappoint me.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I was a kid, my dad was a Southern Baptist preacher, and he believed in spare the rod, spoil the child. But I was a task to him because whenever he whipped me, I'd just laugh at him. And my youngest son was a little bit like that too. Every time I tried to discipline him, I had to find alternate ways. You got to find something that works. You don't just give up if something doesn't work. You just try something else. With him, it was, not letting him be around his friends. But, you got to find some way to discipline a child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for a lot of people, myself including, the fear of disappointment is a huge factor. I don't want to disappoint anybody in my life.
But don't disappoint yourself first.
I know.
You know what I mean? And that's a lesson everyone should learn. If you feel like if it feels wrong in your gut, if your heart is telling you that this doesn't feel right, you know that you're doing something that is going against your internal principles, whether it's your consciousness, whether it's your conscious, whatever. The inner voice. Don't ever fight the inner voice. Polly's voice has tried to make me sound like the oral mango of the 3PO standard.
Yeah, Gun Buddy. When I was Gun Buddy was growing up, he had to get his own switch. Go ahead, Paulie.
You know, Loki, that thing inside that tells you something, and that thing.
Indigestion.
Gas.
Internet gas.
Yeah, that internal barometer of you're doing right or you're doing wrong.
You know,
that's called a conscience, and a lot of people nowadays don't have one.
I'm sorry, Paulie. Go ahead.
No.
No.
If I could say that also, which kind of throws it back to our responsibility just on the day to day is, you know, making sure that we are continue to be welcoming to our friends who don't agree with us, or we have different opinions on certain things. Because I know this community says, you know, like we back each other up even though we don't agree. Like, that's another way that you can fight this, is that you keep creating and reinforcing that welcoming community. It's just like with anything else, you know, it's like I'm not gonna remember how to teach something if I don't continue to practice my own training.
And Adega Outlaw, excuse me while I interrupt Paulie.
Okay. Go ahead,
Adega. And Bounding just put something out.
Oh, we love you, Paulie. Oh,
the Tolkien Society announces Tolkien and diversity theme for summer seminar. I'm out.
I'm done. Tolkien Society had the tightest grip on any IP I've ever known.
Yep.
No, that is horrible.
You know, I went to a it was actually for Discworld, and one of Tolkien's letters was on display, and the Tolkien Society is so adamant that people don't reproduce any of Tolkien's work. There were signs up saying you're not allowed to take a photograph of this particular letter. Anything else in the exhibit could, but yeah, that's how strongly they felt about J.R.R. Tolkien's work.
I think that you got a disliker. It's funny because that just helps the algorithm. You have someone who doesn't agree with this show. Oh no. Oh no. Quick, let's complain on Twitter. I got one dislike today.
Near Spear Origin, hail.
Author, up and coming author, to be honest, yeah.
Cast it into the fire.
Megs! Holy.
Hi, Megs.
Hi,
Good morning.
Yeah, Gary will lose his fucking mind.
Yeah.
Every once in a while I
I
throw some super chats out to Gary, and every single time I talk about the Horn of Helm Hammerhand. Every single time I include that, because I know what a fan he is, and I know what a fan I am, and I know I grew up reading those books, and I knew Gary read those books, and I know when it comes to Tolkien, Gary and me see eye to eye at the exact same level. They're perfect. It's perfect. There's nothing wrong with that, with any of that, and they're going to try and change it. Ray J's World with a $5 super chat. You all heard what happened in Drunk Story? Yep, I just bought a shirt. We all should buy shirts. Yes. We got hit too. 2 months ago, they tried to take down the
Glorious Fleeting,
except in Valhalla, because they said it had biblical connotations, religious connotations. Glorious Fleeting, except in Valhalla. And I fought to get that back, and we got it back. But yeah, someone reported it for religious connotations. And no, it has nothing to do with religion. It has to do with Glorious Fleeting, except in Valhalla. We stand, we don't kneel. We don't take it.
Even if it did, what the hell business is it of theirs?
The funny thing is, they don't understand the meme behind Drunk Store. You might order the stuff, but you'll never get it. Let's ask Mara Jade about that.
Well, I'm having to reorder the Christmas giveaway items, because they got shipped out by DHL. They did not get picked up by the post office. So the post office is like, well, we never got them. DHL said they dropped them off. Well, we never got them. Well, I need more shit sent out. Thank you. And I had to wait till the 22nd to send in another email. I'm waiting on my return email saying, yes, we will resend your stuff and not charge you again.
I can't wait for that Gary show when he sees that article, because I want like that big bag, like the Costco size bag where you just sit there. It's like the same size as you, and just be like, it's gonna be good. And you're sitting there like the Michael Jackson meme.
It matters, Mr. Tickle Trunk. Apparently, it matters. I fought for it, and we got it put back up. The glorious fleeting except in Valhalla merchandise on Teespring, on the Tea for Spring store.
Can I use that, Loki? Can I change it though to gravy is fleeting?
Chicken wings are fleeting.
I will eat you.
but yeah, them trying to get 3PO's merch taken down is horseshit. That's all they do. That's all they do is try and cancel you. They try and cancel your family. They try and get your family canceled. They try and get your livelihood canceled. They want to fuck with your money. They want to fuck with anything, but they can't stand eye to eye, toe to toe with you and tell you why, because they themselves don't know. They will make shit up. They will start shit. They will lie. They will cheat. They will run around you. They will talk shit behind your back because they cannot stand toe to toe with you and back up their bullshit.
They're behind a keyboard and they're reveling in anonymity because they would never say anything like that to your face. They wouldn't.
No, because they can't look you in the face. They don't know how to make eye contact and stand by their words. They're cowards. All of them are cowards.
Yes. And it's apparent. And when you call them out on it, all they do is, oh, well, blah, 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 blah.
It's at the point, like, the keyboard warriors don't understand that when you say something, you either stand by what you say or you own up to it and you apologize for your mistake. Because either way, you're going to be taught a lesson. You're either going to be taught the lesson that someone's not going to take your crap and you're going to end up with on the end of a fist. And I'm not saying that's the reason to do it. Or you're going to end up feeling stupid. And it's still going to be an internal fist. And if you can't even accept being in those situations, you're never going to learn how to understand that you're not always going to be right. And when you're wrong, you have to own up to it. Your mistakes are yours just as much as your opinions are. Be proud of them.
If you do call them out, they play the victim.
There you go, Fat Steven.
I want to
Gravy
go
is
there.
fleeting, except my thighs.
Why are you thinking about my thighs?
Go ahead, Paulie.
I was just reading the token talking points of that article. I'm gonna go to that diversity.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna sign up and go. I want to be represented in Mordor. What's going on?
Oh, please say hi. Why is there no taco elves within this universe?
I mean, you mean that's all I think about when I watch Lord of the Rings.
Where's
why
the
are any Mexicans in the fucking Lord of the Rings?
Why are there no taco trucks in Mordor?
That's why I started the Latino Slant, because there's no Mexicans in Mordor. Mordor, Mexicans. Mordor, hashtag Frodo is Chicano.
Hey, here's another one, Paulie. I got a question. Why are there no Mexicans in Care Bears?
You quiero my Lord of the Rings. You quiero my Lord of the Rings.
Burrito stare.
Yeah.
One ring to rule them all. They never met my ex-wife, man. She had like 10 rings, one on every finger. Fuck.
Hold my baby.
I love you, brother.
Where's Mike when you need him?
Yeah,
it's like Sub-Zero Mexican Gonzalez.
All right, pull it back in, guys.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's actually a joke from Pablo Francisco. Oh no,
Mexico.
Would it be Mexindale? Like Rivendell?
Mexidor. No, because you gotta come. They come from Mordor.
Oh.
Mexidor.
Yeah. No, but
spicy tacos.
Oh, Gandalf the Orderly.
I'm sorry.
Odogre, Gandalf.
Orderly, the wise.
Only true
Gandalf
white
the Odogre.
The true dude, white.
Oh,
Don't
God.
know.
Yeah.
It's a good one, Adega.
You see what I started, Dave? Up?
Yeah.
The enchilada stare.
Enchilada is love. God. Yeah.
All right, guys. Anything you guys want to say before we get out of here? I know we've gone a half hour over. I really don't care this morning that we went over.
You did
anything
good.
you guys want to say before we get out of here?
I stand with Gina Carano.
Yeah, I stand with Gina Carano.
I stand.
love.
I stand for whoever wants to be themselves, be loyal to themselves, genuine in what they believe in. I'll stand with anyone who is themselves.
And Big Geek, let's talk with the $5 super chat. Just wait, they will start saying it is we who must sub alien words and not use native languages. Was that is considered disrespectful? Deaf people are shit out of luck. What about you guys? What about you, Paulie?
In regards to
I stand with Gina. Yeah.
In regards to this topic today, yeah, just take everyone by case by case. Try not to generalize in sweeping motions. Just basically don't do what they do, and don't put up with bullying. Absolutely, and
absolutely.
I'm not a fan of Shapiro, but I respect him. And and I've respected Gina for many years. So, that was a wonderful interview, and it's great to hear people talk, adults talk.
Paulie, can I ask a quick question with that interview? Like when it focused on Shapiro and you saw his eyebrows, were you fixated on them for the longest time? Like they were like Vulcan eyebrows, like they were just there.
My God!
Don't get me in trouble.
Random.
I'm not gonna get you in trouble.
Dave Bob, you got anything for us on our way out, brother?
Look, Gina Carano is a sweetheart. She is one of the genuinely nicest human beings I've ever even had the privilege to get to know her work and everything. And people just need to start listening and stop trying to talk over everybody. Everybody deserves a little bit. They deserve the benefit of the doubt. They deserve the benefit of the doubt. I don't care what happens. If some people are going to screw up. You don't dump them and jump on them when they do that. You got to try to bring them back, into the fold, so to speak. But hell, I don't know. I give people too many chances.
My eyebrows agree.
And Steven, go ahead, Paulie.
Jesus, sorry about that. Just before we end, I'd like to, if it's okay with you, I really would like to plug tonight's show, if that's okay with you.
Oh yeah, go, yeah, shoot.
Let me know when.
Steven,
right now?
Anything? You got anything else to say, Steven, before we close out?
It's gonna be a little selfless. If you haven't, check out the stream. Loki popped on. We did it a couple days ago. It's about 4 hours. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but we have a wide cast that covered it and did a lot of points of view, and I think everyone should check that out. If you don't want to go from our opinions, watch that interview, but listen to her. Look at her facial reactions. Look at her body language, and see how much trauma this has caused her that she is trying not to hide. And remember that type of carrying yourself can happen to anyone, even the closest person to you. Be someone for someone else if you need to reach out, because there's people out there that need that reaching out. But just listen to them if they don't want to. You know what I mean? Just stand with your neighbor. Respect thy neighbor. Respect their opinion. And don't villainize them because they don't agree with you. Just be human. Please
Yeah.
be human and don't bully. I can't stand
Yeah,
that
no,
word.
no. Fuck all
Can't
that.
stand it.
Paulie, what do you got for us coming on later tonight?
Well, kind of a connection there with what Fat Steven was saying, and that that interview. I suggest everyone watches it because it actually goes by pretty fast. It's riveting, that Gina interview.
Oh yeah.
We are doing a special show with Lorena Creo and a friend of mine, Reggie Johnson, who came on to the panel. It's tonight. We recorded this weekend, and we started it on Blaxican history. It's Afro-Mexicans who were actual like big time historical figures that were kind of like silenced, literally. We go over 2 of them, which is fascinating, and the effect that they had on Mexico and the connection to the United States as well. And then we went into a great conversation on race swapping of our legends in the comic age, television and film. You're not going to agree with everything that we are saying, but I can tell you it is a really good conversation. So that's tonight.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, guys, check that out over on Latino Slant. If you have not subbed to Paulie, give him a watch, check out his videos, and if you like his content, subscribe and ring that bell. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here for the past hour and a half. I don't usually go this long, but I said, fuck it this morning. I'm going to talk about this as long as I'm going to talk about it. My closing thoughts are this. Do not let someone silence you. Do not let anyone intimidate you into silence. Do not let anyone tell you you cannot stand up and be heard, that your voice is not important, that you should sit down and be quiet because of the color of your skin, because of your race, because of your sexual orientation. Do not allow anyone or any company to tell you that you are unworthy of having a voice. They tried to silence Gina Carano, and when that didn't work, they fired her, and now they're going after her family. Do not allow this to continue. Cancel culture needs to end. I am so sick and fucking tired of cancel culture being the norm, of people being canceled, being the everyday thing on TV, that this is the popular thing. Hey, let's put our fucking feet up, get on the computer, and cancel someone today with rumor and innuendo. I am so tired of seeing people say this person deserved to be fired because of this when it was not a fact. I see it. I see it all the time. This person did this and that. They went to this place and they did this. No one knows this for a fact. If we had facts, that would be totally different. I could totally see it. But so many people are saying this person said this. This person did that. Gina Carano, everyone was running around saying she compared conservatives to Jews in World War II. That is not what she did. That is not what she said. But that is the narrative that is being spun. Find out the truth for yourself. Look at the facts. Find out the facts before you start reading and trying to cancel someone. This cancel culture must end. It has to end. It's bad for everything. It's bad for our society. It's bad for the people working. It's bad for fucking work. It's a horrible fucking working environment to be like, oh my God, am I next? This shit needs to end. Stand up. Be heard, talk with your voice, use your voice, and don't be afraid. Don't let people like fucking Brie Larson silence you. I totally do not need to know what a white man in his 30s thinks about a movie. If that is their job, that's their job. Shut the fuck up, bitch, and let people do their jobs. People need to be able to do their jobs. People need to be able to go to work and know they don't have to look over their shoulder every 5 minutes. People should be able to go to work for a company without having to toe their line and their rhetoric or be fired and have their family threatened. Enough is enough. We stand up and we say no to cancel culture. We say no to bullying. We say no to all this shit, or we disappear. We disappear and we're gone, and that's it, and they win. And I refuse to let that happen. Everyone have a great day, and we will catch you guys next time.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.